I know over recent years here at the University of Texas, the tight end position hasn't put up huge receiving numbers. How much do you think that's going to change now with you as tight ends coach and with the Herman system in place?
Well, the tight end pretty much ties the whole offense together. It brings the passing game and the running game together. And, outside of the quarterback, the position has a lot on its plate. So, we're looking for guys that can line up around the box, much like they did last year in the offense at Texas. But our tight ends also have to be able to go play detached at the number 1, 2, or 3 spot and be able to stretch the field vertical and then be able to work the underneath routes and get open. So I think last year they had 6 catches for the season from looking at the stats. And I think at Houston, going into the bowl game, we were right around 30. So that's where we should be, between 30 to 45 probably catches a year.
I know you were a longtime coach in the Houston area with Westfield, 7 district championships. How did you connect with Tom Herman?
Well, it's through recruiting. He started recruiting Westfield High School in 2001 when he got to Sam Houston State University, which was my alma mater. And, we just kind of hit it off and clicked. When he left to go to Iowa State in 2009, I believe, I didn't see him for 5 years because he didn't recruit Houston. He had Dallas. So it was kind of surprising when I got a phone call when he said he was interviewing for the Houston job and wanted to know if I'd help. And I said yes. And then he asked me if I wanted to be a part of the staff if he got the job. And I said absolutely.
Don't let it swing. Strike, good. Hey, snag to your hip. Right foot slide. Pound up. Here we go. Set. Doop. Pound, 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 pound. Much better. That's better. Now we're doing something that we should be doing. Good.
How much pressure was there on you when he first brought you onto his staff, knowing you're from the Texas high school football ranks and knowing there are a lot of high school football coaches in Texas saying, Corby, don't mess this up for us?
The greatest thing that I've done professionally has been a part of the Texas High School Coaches Association Board of Directors, getting to represent the entire Houston region and represent the state. That's my greatest professional accomplishment. I'm always going to be a high school coach. Those are my guys. Those are my peers. I realize every day when I wake up that I have to do a great job so I can open doors for other high school coaches to get the same opportunity. But it goes back to when people would say, hey man, y'all are picked to win state or do this or do that. And, if anybody has higher expectations for Corby Meekins than Corby Meekins has, then I'm not doing my job.
Biggest challenge you've experienced coaching college kids compared to high school kids?
Kids are kids, to be honest with you. I don't think you have to hold their hand quite as much, especially once you let them know what the expectations are, how the accountability is going to be handled. We had unbelievable kids at Houston. We have great kids here. That part of it. It seems like they do pick it up and keep the material a little longer. There's times in high school where it seemed like Groundhog Day. So you'd wake up and have to do the same thing over and over, but the learning curve is a lot quicker here. But at the end of the day, you just got to love them up and hold them to high expectations, and they're going to give you exactly what you expect.
I know your dad always told you, leave a program in better shape than when you found it. What kind of shape is Texas in right now?
The sky's the limit. There's a lot of work to do. We're still getting to know our kids because we were on the road recruiting for the majority of the 2 months after we got the job. So we're building that trust. We're building the family atmosphere that Coach Herman wants here. And it's a day at a time. And it's not we can't look past this afternoon when we get in the weight room and lift. So it's just taking it one step at a time, try to be 1-0, and that body of work will determine itself long from now.
Your daughter had what became a somewhat famous national quote last year, senior quote in her high school yearbook. I'm sure she's been asked a million times now that you're part of Herman's staff, Can you send along my highlights to your dad? She caught a lot of attention for that. What did you make of that quote?
I came home from work and my wife was, the yearbook was sitting on the table and she goes, "Did you see your daughter's quote?" And I said, "No." And she goes, "Well, look in the yearbook." So I get the yearbook and she helps me find it. So I'm looking through all the names and I get to hers. And I'd seen some of her friends, so I was reading theirs. So I get to hers and I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" I said, "That's funny." So I took my phone out, took a screenshot, snapshot, and sent it to Coach Herman. And then he's crying. And then he says, "Hey man, can I tweet that?" And I said, "Sure." So, the rest is history.
If there's one goal you have for your group of tight ends that you want to see them accomplish throughout spring ball, what would that be?
I think the biggest thing for our tight end group coming out of spring ball is to have a firm grasp of the offense. We're going to get bigger, we're going to get stronger, we're going to get faster in the weight room, but we want to have a firm grasp of what we're asking the tight end to do every play and then be able to do it with great technique. If we can get that knowledge and get the technique taught and be moving in the right direction, then going into summer, we're going to be ahead of the learning curve.